Welcome to Soccer Gaming, and in this episode we're going to go over the fastest way of getting your armoring level to the max level of 200. Also, we're going to go over the breakdown of how we're going to do it 50 levels at a time. So from level 1 to level 50 and so on and so forth up to level 200. We're going to have a complete breakdown mathematically down to the XP and down to the fiber that you need to be able to craft it. If at any time you're enjoying this video, make sure to drop it a like. Also feel free to hit that red subscribe button because there's going to be a ton more videos just like it. So let's get this one started. Before we get started with this episode, I wanted to let you guys know that this is post 1.1.1 on New World. So if you have updated to 1.1.1 in New World, all of these XP, all of these numbers will help you out. So we're going to start this one off like we normally do with just what armor can do for you in New World. And in New World, it plays a huge role in how your overall character functions in the entire game. It doesn't just provide you with good statistics and help you kind of eat damage. It also shows just how agile or how slow your character is when it comes to combat. So in New World, there's 3 different armor categories: light, medium, and heavy. You hear a lot of mixed reviews. You hear a lot of people saying, oh, it's heavy, heavy, heavy. Oh, I use light and I'm fine. So you kind of just got to use what you got and mix and match your gear to what you like and then figure out if you're a light, a medium, or a heavy. Also in New World, armor can provide your character with special bonuses and additional attribute points through the use of perks and gem slots. Just like the weapons, everything else, these are definitely good when you're trying to get luck on stuff. If you're trying to get luck on drop chests or whatever, this is where you're going to put it in. So the next section we're going to talk about is the gear score of it all and kind of how we break it down. So the gear system in New World is based on different tiers and gear scores. The level requirement for a specific piece of gear is based on the gear score. So tier 2 items are going to be like level 1 to 19. Tier 3 is 20 to 39. Tier 4 you're going to get once you hit level 40 to 59. And then tier 5 is going to be once you hit 60. So to break down gear score a little bit for us in here in New World, it's basically just used to show you the overall strength of your build and of your gear score. It means that you get better gear the higher your gear score is, but that's not completely true just because it really comes down to what you need. So if you need something that is a 600 and you see that the piece of gear that's 600 wouldn't really help you, then that's not really worth the 600 price tag for it. So just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff, that you want to build gear the way that you need to be able to use it. And if that happens to be a 600 or a 550 piece that does it for you, then that's what you should roll with. So you might be asking yourself, how do we obtain the armor? There's different ways you can get armor in Newer World. You can get it through drops, you can get it through crafting, you can get it through trade posts, you can get it through faction vendors, you can get them in Outpost Rush, armor crates, quests. There's different special quests that you can get with armor. Any of these are good ways to get your armor. However, in this episode, we're going to go over the whole crafting portion because we want to get our armoring skill to level 200, which is max, because then at level 200, we're going to be able to make exactly what we want when it comes to our own gear. So if we need certain boots or footwear or whatever, then we can kind of go in and manipulate what we want on our build and then go ahead and build it instead of trying to go out in the world and trying to find exactly what you need. So the next thing is to talk over how we are going to level up the armoring skill. And I just want to throw out the first thing you should do to complete armoring skill is the town boards. This is a great way to get a ton of XP for your town, get a ton of XP for your character, get some gold by turning in town boards, and you also can raise your armoring skill through this. So every time you see one on the board, make sure you grab it, then look and see what the materials you need to make it, run out and get them. They're usually pretty easy. Usually it's like rawhide, iron, and wood or something like that, some linen, stuff like that. So it's really easy stuff to get. You can run out and get it and get some easy XP. I know that I actually leveled from 1 to 85 just with doing this, because once I was done, once I hit level 60, I had 85 on the armoring. So, and that was all done with just doing the quest or the board get. So to complete these, just go over to the forge and have the materials you need to craft the items. They usually get you around 300 or more XP per time you build them. And you also get coin once you turn them in. You also get experience. And then again, you get some town standing as well. So as you can see at the forge, there's different ones you can do, but there's not many to choose from here that are going to be able to help you. A lot of this is metal heavy, which I feel like out of the three things of cloth, leather, and metal is actually kind of the hardest one to get and to craft. So you can use these, you could go ahead and do these. However, I would not suggest them. You don't get any armoring up faster doing these. They're completely the same breakdown, no matter if you do the iron plate boots or the linen boots over where you craft the other armor. But I will tell you, these are in here. You're able to craft these. However, I would not suggest doing it unless you have just a ton of iron. Then you do rawhide and fiber. So the place we're going to go to break these things down is going to be the outfitting station. And in Windsward, we currently have a tier 5. So the best place you could go is a tier 5, and these are again broken down like every other one into different tiers. If you want certain tiers, you have to go to the certain tier to be able to craft it. So like as you can see here, we have outfitting station of tier 3, which is needed for those. But if we go down here to these beast whatever, we need an outfitting station tier 5. So basically make sure that you're in the correct requirement for your outfitting station. So this is where it gets a little crazy and a little, I wouldn't say hard to follow, but this is where we're going to break down how we do things. So if you look at the armoring, you see the different numbers down here. This is how much you're going to gain as far as XP on your armoring skill. Now, when you come in here, your armoring skill might be different. It might be whatever. My suggestion is from level 1 to level 50, you're going to be crafting the linen stuff. The linen could come from straight up linen, which comes from fiber. If you want to know how to get the fiber stuff, you got to come over here to this little guy here, to the loom, and then boom, you take your fibers you got and you turn them into linen. So do just this, boom, turn it into 200 linen. Now we got 225 linen over here. Now we can run back here and make the linen stuff that we need to make, because in order to do these, the shoes, the gloves, whatever, you're going to need linen of tier 2. Tier 3, obviously you go back to the loom, you turn linen into tier 3 stuff, and so on and so forth. And that's how it's going to be with leathers as well. You can get coarse leather, which is level 2. I believe you can't do, you can't do rawhide on this one. You have to go with coarse leather. And again, if you're wanting to know how to get the coarse leather, you got to convert the rawhide into coarse leather with the tannery. So this is the breakdown from level 1 to level 50 on what you should be looking into. And so there's different ways you could do this. You can do linen, you could do rough leather. It kind of is up to you however you want to do this. You really just need to kind of look at yourself and say, what do I have an overabundance of? Is it easy to get fiber to turn into linen? Or is it easy to get rawhide and turn it into coarse leather? Because that's going to kind of dictate what you build in these and how much XP you're going to get. So from level 1 to level 50, you're going to be doing the linen stuff or the rough leather stuff. And to kind of break this down, how we're going to do it, you take the armoring and you divide it by how much of this is actually in it, and that's going to give you an outcome of knowing how much your XP is. So if this is 108 armoring, you're going to divide it by 9 because there's 5, 3, which is 8, and then 9 because of the iron ingot, and that'll give you basically a value of 12. So basically every single thing you put into this is worth 12 XP, kind of breaking it down that way. And normally I would say, okay, do the 108, just keep doing it, but you got to think about the tax. The tax for doing all this, if you wanted to do the linen shoes, it's going to be about 124 linen shoes needed to be made to be able to get to the next level of 51. It's going to cost you about 13,400 XP to get you from level 1 to level 50. So my suggestion would be either to do 32 linen dresses or 32 linen shirts. And the reason I'm saying that, you're getting the 420 armoring. Yes, I know it's a lot of linen. You're spending the same amount of linen, coarse leather, and iron because the armoring's up. It's still only 12 to actually get linen dress. So you're getting basically 12 XP per thing used. However, the reason I'm saying do the linen dress is because you're going to be paying about $8 or 8 coins in crafting taxes, whereas the other ones that like the linen hat, the gloves, the ones with the lowing armoring, you're making a ton more, which is like 124-ish there, and you're going to be spending about 31 coins in making the crafts. So my suggestion is you're paying the same amount of mats, the same amount of materials needed for the dress and for the linen shirt. My suggestion would be is to knock it out with the linen dress and linen shirt. So to do that, you're going to basically need 32 linen dresses, which comes down to about 704 linen. It's going to cost you about 384 coarse leather and 32 iron ingots. So pretty cheap once you kind of look at it. And once you get all that, you times the 32 times the 420, and boom, you're at the 13.4 that you need to go up to level 51. So once you hit level 50, you're going to unlock the Satine, and this is where we're going to go over the next steps. So once you're past level 50 or at level 50, you unlock the Satine, and we're actually going to upgrade to knocking these out. So again, get tier 3 Satine, you're going to need the tier 2 linen. You convert linen into the Satine, and boom, you got tier 3. It's going to be same with leathers. You need coarse leather and iron. That's the cheapest route to go there for these as well. And in this one, we're going to actually do the Satine pants and the Satine leggings. The reason we're doing that is because if you look at what they cost 10 Satine, 6 coarse leather, 2 iron ingots, and 810 armoring. And this again comes back to the taxes. So you're going to need approximately, to knock all of this out, to go from level 50 to level 100, you're looking at about 155,000 XP to get up from level 50 to 100. So at this point, you're looking at it, you're getting a ton of XP. If you craft 192 Satine pants, you're going to need about 1920 Satine. You're going to need about 1152 coarse leather, and you're going to need about 384 iron ingots to be able to make this many. But if you multiply that, you're going to get about 155,520 XP, which will get you to that level 100. And you will only pay about 144 coins in crafting taxes. If you look at the other crafting taxes for the other thing, it's over double. It's like 288 or even more. To do the other things like the gloves and the hats and stuff like that. And again, when it comes down to resources, you're using the exact same amount of resources. So now we are at level 100 in the armoring, and we need to know how to go to level 150. It's going to cost us about 1 million XP to get from the 100 level to 150. And we're going to break it down a little bit for you so it's a little easier to think about. And what we're going to do in this one is the silk pants actually cost a little less in taxes. However, you have to use a ton more weaving stuff to be able to do it. So what I'm suggesting is going over to the silk gloves. Now, you're going to have to end up crafting more of them. However, you're going to have to use a lot less materials when it comes to making stuff into silk. As again, we're upgrading the tier. As far as tier 4 goes, we're going up to silk. So to be able to do that, you're going to have to use some like wire weave and stuff like that in there. What we're going to need is 725 silk gloves at 1,512 XP. That will get you over the 1 million mark XP to get us to level 150. To break this down even further, you're going to need about 13,385 silk threads, 4,462 sateen, 2,231 wire weave, 2,900 coarse leather, and 725 iron ingots. So we're going to need to make 725 of these to get the XP needed. Now, we're getting to the point now where if you're, depending on what level you are, some of this stuff might be actually decent to put on. So if you're a level like 45 or a 50 right now, these might actually be some pretty decent stuff that you could put on. So if you're needing shoes or gloves or whatever you're needing an upgrade on, if at this point you can actually upgrade because your gear score for something is like below 400, then this might be something you just try to get some silk gloves here, craft them, see if you like them, see if you can use them. However, if we want to go the fastest way possible, the silk gloves is where it's going to be at. To knock this out, it is going to cost you about 1,500 in gold to craft all this, but you're saving a ton of money when it comes to the wire weave and the silk threads. So you thought it was difficult to go from level 100 to level 150? From level 150 to 200, you're looking at about 5.6 million XP to get from level 150 up. So again, we're going to break this down, going to make it a lot easier on you. At this point, if you're needing better gear score, like 510 or something, 500, feel free to try to get some stuff in here that you need, like a fur coat or whatever you can afford, whatever you actually need. If you need a satchel or something, go ahead and do that as well. However, we're going to do it the fastest way possible and the cheapest way possible. And for us, that's going to be crafting 1,237 infused silk gloves. So we're going to do the silk gloves here. And the reason we're doing the gloves is, again, you're not spending as much on infused silk, but you do actually have to do more in the end to be able to get the armoring XP where you need it. So to break this down, we're doing 1,237 infused silk gloves. To do that, you're going to need about 4,948 infused silk, 4,948 coarse leather, and then 1,237 iron ingots to be able to make this. Now you're getting 4,536 XP per every craft, so it is going to be a lot. You're crafting 1,000 of these things, and to break it down, the crafting taxes on this are going to be around 5,000 gold to craft all this. Now this is the easiest, fastest way I've seen to go. You could do less with the infused silk leggings. However, you're going to pay about half the taxes, but you're going to pay for another almost 2,000 or more in infused silk. And in the end, the infused silk gets so hard to get at that point that it's really not worth it. I mean, you need 4,948 infused silk to get to this point. So this is going to be very, very, very tedious. And I just want to throw that out there. But that is the fastest way of getting it done from level 0 all the way up to level 200. I apologize about the voice sounding a little shot. Been sick lately. However, I think we're on the mend and ready to make some more videos. So this is done after patch 111. So it is December 1st right now. Can't guarantee this is going to stick forever because they like to change things. They like to make it harder or easier, however they want to do it, and they like to change the XPs. So just keep that in mind. If it's 111 and they haven't changed the XP since then this build should work for you. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button because we'll be coming back with plenty more New World content very soon. Till next time, Slacker out.